To have you join us today on the program Woman to Woman. I am adorable Adesuwa Usa Uwage. Today on Woman to Woman, I bring you good tidings. Now I'm speaking like a pastor, yeah. I'm going to be talking to a beautiful young lady who is doing exploits in her field already. She's young, she's beautiful, and she's quite interesting. And I saw her do some things, and I decided that this girl may be an inspiration to some other young ladies out there. Is after all Woman to Woman, and so once you are a female, this program is for you. It's even for men, those who want to know more about the woman, who wants to know the world of a woman. So today I'm going to be speaking with a young engineer. She's an engineer who is doing so much in the automobile world, and she's young. That's the catch there. So join me as I make welcome Oreki Aisosa Margaret. A pleasure to have you join us today.
Pleasure to be here, ma.
And I love your smile. That was the first thing that attracted me to you. That who is this beautiful girl with a huge and infectious smile? Now you are an engineer in the making, but you're already fixing vehicles.
Yes,
How did you get that far?
Well, I've always been interested in cars. Generally, growing up, I love cars. I look at them and just admire how they are made and listen for sounds to know if something's wrong. And while I decided to go into mechanical engineering, I already had it in mind that I was going to focus on the automobile aspect of mechanical. So during the COVID pandemic, which was in 2020, I started at a roadside mechanic in Silo Corridor.
Roadside mechanic.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And he is actually my mom's mechanic, or was, because now she doesn't go there anymore, but he was my mom's mechanic at the time. So it was kind of easy. I just called him, Brother Aisosa, I want to come.
Yeah, let me say. Okay, you are Aisosa, he's Aisosa. Okay,
yes,
go ahead.
I want to come learn at your shop. And thankfully, I was really grateful that he did not question me too much.
At that time, you were at what level in the
200
university?
level.
You were in 200 level in the university.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so impress me more, girl.
Okay, so I just called him and I told him what I wanted. I wanted to learn how to be a mechanic or learn how to repair cars and everything. And he didn't really question me. He just said, come on Monday, and that was it.
Did you have to pay anything, like
No.
agreements and all of that?
I didn't have to.
You didn't have to. Nice
No.
man then.
It's very interesting because most roadside technicians, they don't really collect money initially until you personally decide that you want to write agreements, and then they tell you the list of things you have to get.
Okay.
All right. So when I got there on Monday morning, it was actually really weird because I was the only girl in the midst of men and boys, and I had two senior boys at the time. And they made everything comfortable for me. Yes, of course. There was this eye. They used to look at you like, you're a girl. What are you doing here? But when they saw that I was actually passionate about it, they gave me a chance to learn.
Tell us your experience.
Okay. Well, when I started at first, I feel like my Oga then at the time, he was still using that girl eye to look at me. So there's some things.
What can this girl do?
Yes. So I think when I got there, I went there with a note and a pen.
Okay.
Yes, because I had the mindset that I'm a student. I'm in university here, so to learn you have to write down. And this was something new. Yes, I have the interest, but then again, I was ready to really calm down and learn every detail. So I took my notes and my pen with me there. And every time we're working on the car, I'll just stand by the side, and anything that they say, I'll just write it down. I used to have the notes in my hostel. And funny enough, these exact notes, particular note, really helps me with my engineering laboratory. It's Ella, what we call it in school. Because when we have auto shop, we are supposed to write on certain parts of cars. And I actually used this note I got from this mechanic shop to write my report. And it was always very nice because it's more of, I'm writing something that I've seen.
Something very practical.
Yes, ma'am. So getting there, just like that, I was always writing down. And then after like a week or two, I told him that I was ready to get my hands dirty. And then he was a bit hesitant at first, but like when I kept pushing him, he was not like, okay, you start bringing tools. That's like one of the first things you learn. You have to learn all the tools. Which one is this? Which one is that? Spanner, the plier. Exactly. Yes. So you have to learn all those things. So he started letting me do those things. So when we are working on cars, you just be like, okay, Aisosa, you go and get this one. I said, go and get this one. So I was now getting used to, okay, I know that this is the range. I know what is what. Useful. And then after some time, my work was now to lose tires. Yes, you jack the car, you support it. He will tell you, okay, you're supposed to put the wedge here, support here, just like that. So I was now releasing, like, I'll put down the tires, I'll fix it back. That was my work for a very long time, actually. And then, just like that, we're just graduating. But the thing was, there was still this look of, she's a girl, she might not have the strength to do certain things. But then, I was very confident in myself. I want to share this past experience I had. All right, when I was 10, it was my, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this on air, my dad's burial night. Go ahead. All right, so my dad's service of songs, you know, it was a bit moody in the house, but then I was a kid, I was just 10. And we have this gen at home, the plant gen, one you have to like roll and roll. Okay, so I saw men around the generator house, and then I was just walking around actually, nothing to do. And I saw them and I was like, I want to on the gen. And then I was very small and thin, and so they are like, you know, I'm grieving, so their mind is, let's not offend her. Let's not offend her. So they are like, come and on the gen. And they gave me the whiner, and I just went there, looked at all of them, and I turned the gen on. Wow. They were surprised that I could turn the gen on because I was so small and I'm not supposed to have that kind of strength. So I think from then was when I started turning on that gen. Because your interest was fired. Yeah, because my brother who was going to school, he just gained admission at the time. So I was the only one with my mom and my sister, my eldest sister, because my older sister was in the boarding school. So it was just me, my eldest sister, and my mom. So my brother was going to school, and because I could already turn on the gen, now there was no issue on who turned, because now, even up to now, if he's not around, I'm the one that turns on the gen. So it actually started from then. And I just feel like that strength is natural for me. I don't know where it comes from, because I don't even eat much. It's just there. So I always just had this feeling that I actually have the energy, you just have to give me the chance. So when my oga would go out, I'll meet my senior boys. I just tell them, please allow me to do this thing. And then they were actually very open to me. They actually tried for me a lot. I think I learned so much from them. Like, it's one thing in the workshop. You might not learn so much from your guy, but see the boys, you learn so much from them. Because most of the time, especially when they are already advanced, the Oga will let them do things. So you go and stand with them and watching what they're doing. So they were actually like, let me touch things when he's not around, and I'll actually do them. Then when he comes, I'll just go and stay in my corner again because, you know, he's not sure if I can do it yet. So it just continues like that for me. Just continues like that until now. So when was the first time you fixed the vehicle? Personally, first time I personally fixed a vehicle. Well, I think that will be, that would be this year. That would be this year. That would be like a few months back. Because all this while, I have been working with people. And even currently, I'm still working with Engine Tech at Sapler Road. I'm still working with them. But like personally, the first time that I personally fixed a vehicle was this year. And it was just servicing. Okay, tell us how your customers feel when you fix their vehicles. Don't they like, go, you know, go. Yes. And this girl fixed my car. And you're so young. Yes. When I started Mechanic Next Door, when I started getting customers was a bit. It's still there. You because know, you're a girl. Yes. When you meet them, the first look is she's a girl. But then there are some of them, especially the women, that are very open-minded to it because it's more like they're intrigued. With the men, you have to convince, show them videos. You know, this is me at work. But with the women, the very first car I worked on was Mommy Choice's car, and when I just told her, okay, ma, I'm starting my own mechanic business, I'll work this and this, she just said, my car is due for servicing. Okay. That was it. And I just told her, okay, ma, so I just like that. It was just like easy. Like, she just let me, she gave me the opportunity. And I feel like for me, it's all that for me, giving me the opportunity, because I know I can do it, but then it's one thing to have a skill. It's another thing to be given the opportunity to do that thing. So I was actually very, very happy that she let me. And I did a very nice job for her. And then when something else was wrong, she called me again. So it was just like that. And then she became a customer. Aisosa, I don't want to ask you your age. I know you are in 300 levels. Yeah. So one can easily guess your age. And you're doing so well already. Now, there are girls like you out there who do absolutely nothing.
even when they are in school. Rather, they want to use what they have to get what they want.
Yeah.
They call it the old trade, you know.
Yes.
There are so many girls out there who would rather do men than get their hands dirty. Now, can you talk to these girls? Can you inspire these girls? And for the upcoming, for those who are already getting inspired by watching you this afternoon on the program, and for those who want to be like you or do better than you're doing now, can you inspire this set of persons for me?
Well, I don't know about every person, but for me, it's very, how do I put it? The way I was brought up, my mom, she's a very strong woman. I would always tell people that, she has raised all of us, single-handedly for a very long time. And for me, it's more like an obligation. I see my life as, I just see myself as like a person that has to do her best, because I have a lot of people that I want to tell thank you. Okay. Starting with my mom, of course, and then every other person that has contributed to my life. So I feel like for me, there are certain things I cannot do because I just have this mindset that I have to do my best in whatever I'm given, because I have a lot of persons I need to repay. And I would really advise people to use this wisdom that God has given us. God has blessed us so much. He has impacted so much into us. I always tell people there's no such thing as a smarter person. There's really no such thing. It's just you. You just have to decide to work on yourself. I was telling a friend that I've started learning how to tint glasses, vehicle glasses. It's just that there are a lot of opportunities. Like the world has so many opportunities. It's just you as an individual. There is no such thing as I didn't have the avenue to succeed in life. You are the one. You are the architect of your own future. So I think every person, if they can just have this mindset that I am special, I don't need to do anything dubious to be successful, because first off, because God has already given me the grace to be successful, and He has already given me the wisdom to be successful. All I really need to do is work hard. I feel like if everybody just has that mindset, it will really go a long way in helping them. And if they stop trying to make it in a very quick way, yes, like I said, it took time to actually get confident enough to work on a person's car without having assistance around me. So definitely it's not going to be quick. It's not going to happen in one day. But it's not going to be easy either. Oh God, it's not going to be easy. You might even get injured. You might fail. You might get told that you can't do it. But if you keep telling yourself that you have what it takes, and you give yourself an opportunity, a chance, to just fulfill your greatness, I feel like every person can be great. It just depends on the individual. Are you ready to do the work?
So presently, how many girls do you have in your class?
All right. In mechanical, we are I think we have six. Yeah, six girls.
6 girls. And how many boys?
Almost 150.
Almost 100.
Yeah, above.
Why is it that few women? Well, you find few women in areas like yours. Very few. Is it because it's difficult? Is it because it's not a woman's thing? I want to know.
I think, it's the way the world has already perceived it. They already just say that mechanical engineering is for boys.
It's for boys.
Even mechanic, they tell you it's for boys. So a girl that grows up hearing stuff like that, and she doesn't really have her own passion. Like for me now, I told you I loved cars right from time. All right, so if she doesn't really have that passion, hearing things like that will really drift her away, farther away from things like that. But there is no such thing as a man.
So whatever a man can do,
a woman can do even better.
Wow.
And your passion.
All right, Aisosa, talk to me. What's this project of yours all about? Because I hear that you want to start up something for girls, you want to inspire girls, you want to bring girls to come and learn. I hope you will admit me to come and learn, because I'm getting jealous already. Aisosa, talk to me.
Okay, so I started a mechanic next door in May, which is my own personal business where I go to work on people's cars. But then along the line, I realized that one of the things that has brought me this far is gets the opportunity to learn. And I just want to give that same opportunity to other people. And I've learned so much, and I feel like it's time to, like, in whatever I do, I try to see how I can give back to society, give back to the community, because I'm always grateful for everything. So this project, like you said, is the Mechanic Next Door Academy, which is the academy under the Mechanic Next Door. And it's a scheme that is designed to teach young people how to become self-sufficient mechanics. You know, gone are the days where you stay in school and you keep begging your parents for alawi all the time. You know, definitely, I'm not saying you should stop doing that. It's very important. Even me, I still call my mom for money. So, yes, but then you can also have something doing, something that brings you, you know, money, something that helps you not to ever be stranded, and something that you can use to make a life for yourself in the future.
Okay.
You know, and this scheme is exactly to bring that to play. And like I said, Mechanic Next Door Academy, how it works is that we have 1 year theory and 1 year practical. During the theory section,
But you didn't do 1 year theory before,
no,
before
no.
you.
When I say 1 year, I don't mean 12 months.
Okay.
No, it's the way it works is that it works with a secondary school scheme. So every time they're on holiday, the classes start. And normally their holiday is a month, so the class spans for their holidays. So it's more like a holiday lesson. But then they're not just learning schoolwork, they're learning something that every time they go home for the holidays, every time they are returning back to school, there is something new, something exciting, something that they have, you know, very soon. Like if you, for instance, if a child is in the academy, when they go home and they have parents driving their cars and they start hearing sound, they'll be like, oh, I heard this sound in class. They told us the sound. Mommy, I think this is wrong with your car. And before you know it, you already have your kids servicing your cars for you at home. You already have them changing your plugs, you know. So that's the plan. That's the plan. So we plan to work with secondary schools, holidays. So every time they go to school, during the holiday, they come back to the academy. They learn, they go back to school, they come back to the academy, they learn. And by the time we are done with theory, we kick off practical. And the practical section will be amazing because it's where they actually get their hands on these things. And the way I planned it is that it's 3 days a week. It's Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And one of those days we'll have videos where they get to watch these practical things, you know, because we don't want them to just hear theory. They're already in school learning so many theory, maths, English. Let them not come and still just be writing, you know. We want to make it exciting for them because, like I said, they are young, so you have to make it exciting for them. And it's not just going to be open to girls. Boys are also allowed if they are interested. I would love to reach out to both boys and girls, honestly, because the world is made up of both girls and girls. So it would be nice if everybody just has something empowering that they're into. Wow,
this is quite interesting. You know, I met Aisosa for the first time at a function, and then she gave a talk. I was so impressed, and thank God I went there with my daughter, and I said, "Girl, did you see that young lady over there?" She said, "Yes." "What do you think about that girl?" She said, "Mom, that girl is a firebrand." I said, "Good. This is the kind of people, these are the kind of girls I want you to mix up with." She's just 13, and hopefully you inspired her. She's very happy about that. And I thought that we could also inspire some other young girls out there. Now, I need you to talk to parents, because there are some parents that may not want their kids to do this. Oh, why? You know, like you went to a roadside mechanic to learn. I don't think some parents out there would want their children to. You know, particularly those who are the big people and all of that, belong to a certain cadre. You know, everybody feels that the roadside mechanic is for the illiterate and all of that. But you went there at 200 level. Now, when you resume, you'll be in 3, or you are in 3 already. Okay, you resume 3 already before the strike began. Wow, this is fantastic. So you're not missing out as such?
No, not at all.
So how many of your friends have really talked to you about this? Or how many of them have you talked to join you?
Academy?
Yeah, not just the academy, you know, to do something outside the strike.
Funny enough, from my class, there are actually some guys that are already learning mechanical.
I'm talking about girls. You are saying guys. How many girls?
There's no girl in my class interested in this aspect of mechanical. You know, mechanical is very broad, so I think maybe they might be interested in other aspects, but there is no other girl in my class doing this mechanic.
Auto mechanic now.
Just the guys. Some guys are into it already.
Quite interesting. So, talk to parents now.
Okay. I understand fully well when a parent would not want their children to go to a roadside. First of all, a roadside mechanic is not exactly so organized, but it would actually interest you to know that there is dignity. There's dignity in that place. You know, like where I am currently is at Engine Tech Nigeria Limited. In that place, it's more sophisticated, we use machines there. You know, if you want to lose a bolt, it's just the impact tool. Zoom, it's out. But at the roadside, which was where I actually learned everything that I know today, everything was with your strength. You know, you want to loosen it, how you use your pipe and your wheel spanner. You know, it's more of energy there. And like I said, there's actually dignity in that place because you are not going to be soft. It makes you strong, really makes you strong. And I really understand why parents might not want to put their kids there. They think that, first of all, they think that mechanic work is for dirty people. You know, when you get there, they feel like, especially roadsides, they're usually very dirty. They might not want their kids to mingle in that kind of environment. Also, they might feel like they might end up meeting people that they should not meet and all that. I really understand where most parents would come from in that aspect. But like I said, the world is changing. You know, the world is really changing. Personally, yes, I'm studying mechanical engineering, and am I allowed to talk about my grade in school?
Go ahead. You're here to inspire us. You're inspiring me already.
Okay, so since I got into mechanical, I've been on the first class, and I plan to graduate to the first class. So definitely, I'm not a student that plays with her academics, in the sense that I have plans for myself. When I graduate, I can still work in a huge company if I want to. Do you understand? So it doesn't mean that, okay, because I'm working as a mechanic or I learned at a roadside, that defines my life or the path it's set to go. It's really just how much you are willing to invest in yourself. And I feel like parents really need to understand that. You have the resources. It's not, I get it, you can choose to invest in a lot of things, but I feel like investing in your children is the best. Because when the results start coming back up, like I told my mom, if you go and service your car outside, it will not make any sense. No, not at all. You have a mechanic in the house. Nah.
Okay, now let's see how you're going to juggle school, because hopefully ASO will resume soon. Hopefully, universities will be opened. We are praying. So after the strike, how are you going to juggle your schoolwork, your side job, and this project that you have embarked upon to like train young girls and the boys if they're interested?
Of course. Okay, how do I juggle it? Well, for my personal business, which is a mechanic next door, it doesn't affect it at all, because I have classes from 8 a.m. to about 2:30. So if a client comes or a customer calls and says, oh, this thing is wrong with my car, and tells me that it's something that has to be done that day, all I have to do is just tell them, okay, wait till like 4. If you can wait till 4, because I do home services, so I'll just come meet you by this time. And then most of the time I work during the weekends, so it really doesn't affect schoolwork. It's just me. It's going to be me, my own personal work. Personally, I'm a night reader.
Okay, now let's look at this. Does the security situation in the country scare you? With this your job, and then you being a woman and then going to do home service?
I understand that question very well.
Please.
Okay, so I actually got my uncle talking about this exact thing with me when I told him I do home services, because the country is a bit sketchy and everything. So what I do is that most of the time when I go to work, I go with my partner. I actually work with another person. He's also in 300 level with me, mechanical, and he also learns mechanic work. Or he's also learning, so we actually work together. It's more like, should I say I employed him?
Okay, let's say you employed him.
So
we are just being modest. Yes, you are an employer of labor. Let's go.
Okay, so like we go to work together. Like for instance, I have this work on Saturday now. He's going to be there with me. So it's just like that. So I'm never really alone. The only work I can say I go alone is like, okay, for instance, today before I came here, I went to service a Mercedes at Siloko Road at his workplace. It's open, so it's not like I'm going inside the house.
Okay, now tell me, do you have a social life? Because
Yes.
girls your age should, girls your age, what most of them do is the party and all of that.
Okay, so that social life party. I'm what most people call a boring person, but that's just because I don't go to parties.
Okay.
I'm active most of the time on WhatsApp. I have
Okay.
I have an Instagram page. I'm on Twitter. I'm usually on TikTok once in a while.
Okay.
But I'll be very honest, very honest with you, because of my work. I resume work 8 a.m. We close by 5:30. I get home almost to 7 or after 6, mostly to 7:30. By the time I get home, I'm usually very tired. So to start holding my phone to chat, it's hard. It's very hard. So the only time you see me online is like when I was coming here, for instance, on the bus. I just check what's happening on WhatsApp, church groups. That is it. But it's hard for me to type all the time.
I get it.
But I try my best to keep up with my friends, to keep up with their lives. But I'm not always online. I always tell them I'm not always online, so don't really expect too much from me. But in terms
so
of like going out,
more on social.
I'm an open person, but I'm in between.
Okay.
For
So
now.
Aisosa, well, I don't know what else to say, but to say thank you for finding time to be with us on the program. And I'm hoping and praying that out of your busy schedule, you'll find time again to be with us on this program so that we can talk more to our young girls with the social vices in the nation today, with what is happening with our girls, with young girls becoming porn stars at 10, at 12, at 13, with little girls that don't even have breasts on their chest becoming prostitutes by the day. It's alarming. Maybe if we do this 1, 2, 3 more, 4 times, somebody will be inspired. Thank you so much, Aisosa. So do you make that promise now?
Yes, ma'am.
That you'll be here. So we'll check on that promise, Aisosa.
I'm honored to be here, ma'am. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. All right, people. We'll see you again. Bye-bye.